Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Bob Seat with Bob and the Claw. We are back in action, Claw. This is what, your third episode now?
Yeah,
Third, and this is episode 6. So I've had a few other guests, and we are ready to rock and roll on this beautiful Tuesday evening. We have the Claw here for a good half hour.
it's
Just
pretty
check
out.
in.
It's snowing.
Yeah, it's snowing here on
Great.
the East Coast. I like your Eagles player. Oh, and the girlfriend in the background. You got your whole setup there.
You're being recorded. So,
It's yeah,
so off she goes.
another co-host. So what's on your mind, man?
Eagles won the Super Bowl. It was everything I wished. I'm not someone as a fan of my team that wants it to be like a close game and a white knuckler. It's like, yeah, sometimes that's fun, but I just like the idea of let's just kick their ass all game and it's just a nonstop party. You know, it's just one
Yeah.
celebration after another. It's touchdown, touchdown, turnover, turnover, touchdown, touchdown, and it's just like it's fun. And then we went to the city.
Yeah.
Went to the city after, just
Oh
soaked
yeah.
it, soaked it all in. The people being
Wow.
downtown and going nuts. I danced with a guy dressed as Barney. Well, not
Okay.
danced. We all just chanted Barney, Barney, Barney.
So the
Or
guy
how?
was dressed as Barney.
Yeah, and he had a suit jacket on.
Wow.
That's how it goes when the Eagles win the Super Bowl. Hey, second Super Bowl in the last several years.
Yeah.
So, and then parade on
And that's the
Friday.
second that's the second Super Bowl we've ever had.
Second Super Bowl Eagles ever won. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, because we've been in more than we've won,
Hmm.
obviously. Yeah. Yeah, that was a fun Super Bowl party at your place, man.
Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed yourself.
You got an interesting family.
Yeah, well, it's my mom. Yeah, you were sitting next to my mom.
I was. It
Yeah,
was so fun. Yeah.
she never
It gets so
stops.
hyped.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
she
she was really
like
fun.
yeah, like when she's watching the game, she's clapping and calling the down and distance on every play, and she basically is acting like she's at the game when she's watching on TV.
Yeah.
And it's good that it went well because she doesn't take it well when it doesn't go well.
It was a great atmosphere when everybody was just so happy the whole time. It was like
Yeah,
nothing I've ever been part of with football. Usually it's like up and down. It
yeah.
was just like up the
Super
whole
Bowl is
time.
usually a roller coaster. That was just an ass kicking.
Yeah, I mean it was kind of fun, but like in just like an easy fun way.
Yeah, sure. I've watched enough games, between my teams that I like, where it's gut wrenching. Where I just
Yeah.
for
Most of our Eagles games too are like that.
Yeah, so it's fun to just have one where
Yeah.
it's basically a
Especially the Super
part.
Bowl.
Yeah, it's like a party from beginning to end.
Man, for
It's
anybody
good.
that didn't see it, there was some great highlights there. You
There's
got that big
nothing
long
but
pass
Eagles
to
highlights. Yeah,
that long pass to Devontae Smith. If you haven't seen it, that was pretty crazy.
pick six by Cooper DeJean.
Yeah,
Just the whole everything.
there was multiple interceptions.
Yeah, there were three. I mean, two
There were two.
interceptions,
Yeah,
and then they sacked Mahomes for a fumble, and
yeah. They just kept
it's great.
putting
They kept
yeah
putting it
pressure
on
on the
him.
quarterback there. That's the way to
And
do it.
it's funny. It's like apparently Swifties are pretty pissed off at Taylor Swift getting booed, and it's turned into
Oh,
like a whole thing online about the Chiefs losing and Taylor Swift getting booed. And I don't know. I mean, I was talking with Kate about it. I just think it's the fact that the stadium was like 80% Eagles fans, and they all know that she dates the star player on
totally.
the Chiefs.
Yeah, yeah. What did they think it was
Of
like
course,
political?
well, yeah. Well, like,
Yeah,
partially it might be political, partially because she gets shown a lot at football games and people are kind of just
yeah.
tired of seeing her. Probably a little bit of that. But I
They
think
just have fun.
I think mostly it's just, Eagle fans at the game. Oh, they showed the Chiefs players, very
Yeah, of course.
extremely famous girlfriend we're gonna boo.
Yeah,
It's like whatever. It's like I
yeah,
don't think they know, the Swifties that picked up football because of the relationship that Taylor Swift has with Travis Kelce. Plenty have. Um, I just I don't think they understand how that's not really to be taken really personally. It's just a sports thing.
Mm.
You know, I've booed some of my own players before at games who haven't been playing well. It's not like fuck you, I hate you personally. It's just you're not playing well. We're at a game, whatever. Just get into it. So
Yeah, yeah. It's not like reality TV. It's like different type of situation.
yeah, and I just don't think they have been into the sport for that long. They think it's something really nasty going on, but I don't think it was I don't think it was terribly nasty. But it was good. It's
Yeah,
a great game. We had a good time. Eagles
yeah.
won.
We did have a good time.
Going to the parade on Friday. You going to the parade?
Okay.
You're in
Uh,
Philly.
yeah. Tell me about the parade. What's the parade like?
Well, it depends on where you go on the parade route. I'm gonna be just meeting up with my mom, my stepdad, my friend from home. When I mean home, like where I went to high school, Tristan, and his kids and his wife, and we're just gonna go to where the parade starts rather than where it finishes up at the art museum and they do all the speeches and all that
Okay.
kind of
Where
stuff.
does it start?
Right outside the stadium. So it goes all the
Okay.
way up Broad Street and
Oh,
then
wow.
yeah, the last time I was actually at the the barrier they had. So they had the art museum, then they had the VIP seats, and then they had a barrier, and then everyone could pack in almost like a concert. And me and my
Mm,
sister went there at like 3 in the morning to be right at the barrier, and we're there all day for the when they won in 2017, and it was freezing that day.
yeah.
I mean, it was like wind chill of like in the like 5 degrees, something like that. It was so cold. And not only that, I mean, once you're packed into a crowd like that, everyone's drinking. It's hard to get into the porta potties or the bathroom or anything. So people are just like pissing on the ground and pissing in Wawa cups, and it's just like it's like a mess, and it's like a borderline riot, up through when the actual like parade ceremony and everything starts up. At one point at 8 a.m., they actually put on a replay of the Super Bowl just to get people to watch it because the crowd was so crazy.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
it was
I mean,
nuts.
it doesn't really sound like much of a parade. Sounds more just like a drunken riot, basically, and
Yeah,
then
it's
just some
like
speeches.
certain parts around along the parade route are like that, but there's more like family friendly areas for it. And we're gonna be going like Tristan's kids are young, so we're just gonna go, excuse me, to the start of the route and just you see the players get onto the party bus to get ready to go, down Broad Street, and you just celebrate there, and then by noon it's like you're done. Go home. Last time I
Hmm.
was there for 10 hours.
Wow.
This time I can't do it again. I think that was younger.
Wait, what time does it start?
11 a.m. Parade
11
starts at
a.m.
11 a.m. It
Wow.
takes roughly 2.5 hours for the Eagles championship party bus to slowly go up Broad Street, turn towards the art museum, and then
Wow.
speeches, ceremony, and all that stuff. Be fun.
Okay. And then you just hang out there all day.
No, I think after the party bus leaves our area, we'll just go home. Why would we stay there? And I just want to, you just want to see part of the parade. I did the whole, parade experience last time to watch the speeches, confetti falls, everybody runs back towards Center City, hopping on
Don't you have?
cars, hopping. It's like basically after they won the Super Bowl for a second time because people are climbing light poles and jumping on the
Yeah,
garbage trucks and everything for a
that's what I'm
second time.
expecting. Yeah.
Yeah, that will happen again. After
Okay.
everything's over at 2 p.m., the people who are
Yeah.
packed in near the art museum will do that.
Okay, that's what I'm
Like
saying. Okay.
they'll all be hammered and they'll go into the city and have like the second riot in a week in in Center
Right.
City. And
Okay, but not you. Not you though.
no, no, I don't do that anymore. And
Mm.
but I did in 2018 and it was fun. And then I actually, it was so hard to get back on the Patco that day. The line to the Patco was going down several city blocks, and to Uber back into Jersey, was like $120. So I have
Wow.
a friend from high school who lived in the city, and I asked her, like, I just come over and hang out? It's like, yeah, me and my friend are just hanging out here and watching everything going on from our window in Chinatown.
Yeah.
And I just stayed there for the day, and then actually that night we hit up a bar and partied with the Philadelphia Union soccer team. Like knew some of them, and that she knew where they were going to be that night. And it's
Mm.
like, I had off work and it was fun. But that was, a different time in my
Different
life.
time.
That was a different time in my life. Now I just want to,
2018, 7 years ago.
yeah,
You think we can get a Super Bowl every 7 years? Is that like
sure.
a
I mean, for a
yeah,
bit. I mean, they're a pretty well-run franchise.
yeah. But
That's
we'd
not going
lose
to
a
last
lot of the
forever.
people.
Yeah, of
Like
course.
part of the
There's,
reason we did so well was we had a really good team.
yeah, and there's always turnover. There's a salary cap in football. You can't keep all the same players. Guys look to get paid by other teams who are up and coming.
Mm, mm.
Go,
Circle of life.
just naturally just go for different opportunities. It's like,
Mm,
you're
mm.
on a stacked roster. You don't know if you're going to be a starter on the Eagles because they have so many good players, but there's another. Team that can pay you money to be a starter. So
Yeah,
we'll see what happens. But
interesting. Huh?
they're a well-run franchise. But yeah,
Yeah,
that's the football stuff.
yeah.
Move
I'm
on.
so do you just like as far as like the parade, do you just like take off work or like how do you just go for like an
Well,
hour or
actually, on Friday, I already have off work as a President's Day because I work 4 days a week.
Interesting.
Monday is my normal day off. So if
Yeah,
that's a holiday, it just shifts to Friday. So I have Friday off anyway.
nice. That's convenient.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that it'd be as easy for me, but I'm in Philly, so like I don't have to travel as far. So I could
No,
probably
you could
just
just
like
walk. You could walk towards
yeah,
Broad Street and just see,
yeah.
as they go by and then leave.
Wave to Saquon.
Yeah. Say, hey, buddy, I saw you on TV.
They
It's like,
got
no
they
way.
they got such a cool team this season.
Yeah, I think so. Likable team.
So so you're off work, right? On Friday,
Yeah,
President's Day.
yeah.
How's that going? How's work going?
Well, I think I described on the last one of the last podcasts. I'm a federal employee.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
just like it's a lot of uncertainty right now.
Is there?
Yeah.
It's even for you guys.
hmm Well,
Yeah,
what they want to do
yeah.
is they want to get people to quit. That's like their
Really?
idea of scaling down the federal government is to just
Can
get.
you say if you got an offer, you got a payout offer?
I don't want to say anything about it.
Okay, okay. So you may or may not have.
Let's keep it mysterious. I'm not sure how
Okay,
much I should be like talking about in like a podcast format. I mean,
that's fair.
people see the news.
Yeah. Okay, so whatever you feel comfortable telling us
Sure.
publicly, I guess.
Yeah, just ask me whatever questions that you want to ask if you're
Yeah.
interested, and not like if I want to plead the fifth on it, I'll just say fifth.
Well, I guess what I'm most curious about is like if they're asking you to come in like to the office more.
Yeah, they're throwing out the telework agreements.
And do they have the authority to do that? Do you know if they do?
No one's stopping them.
No, it's stopping
I
them.
thought the telework act. I mean, that was an act of Congress, the Telework Act of 2010, um,
Yeah,
which puts in some parameters about how and when telework should be used. And
yeah,
then there's certain deals made with the Federal Workers Union in terms of
yeah,
how it's going to be used. Um, I will say that the vast majority of federal workers have been back in the office for a while. That my building was being renovated and it was kind of a special case.
yeah,
But I mean, I will say the idea that the federal workforce, I mean, first off, you already have to deal with the perception that we're lazy and we don't do anything, which isn't true.
Yeah.
Um, However long it takes me to like, you know, it's a vast spectrum of in terms of how much effort any one person has to put into any job between. It can be the same job. One person might need to put in a ton of effort to get it done. It might come easier to a different person.
Yeah. I
Just
mean, look, it's
this idea
there's
that
certainly
all, yeah,
nitpicking for sure. I
yeah,
guess what I'm curious
but
about
it's
is
us.
like,
But like, I just wanted to finish my point.
yes, I'm sorry,
So
sorry.
you're already, you're already dealing with that perception, and then people are just saying that like the entire federal workforce has just been sitting at home collecting a paycheck, doing nothing for, since COVID, which isn't the case. I mean, just on in Northeast Philly, which is
Yeah.
naval support activity where I work, the vast majority of that base has been back in at least, 3 days a week in office for a long time. I mean, anytime, like my building, like I said, is being renovated, but anytime I actually had to go in, paperwork, updating my ID card, um, stuff like that, new equipment, new telework equipment got shipped to the base, obviously. So if I had to go pick it up, I had to be there. And you really can't tell that, during COVID, there's nobody there. That's not the case anymore. The base is just as busy as it was
Yeah.
before COVID.
It's hard to justify it.
But yeah, but that's the idea. Let's get rid of telework and hopefully people will just quit and make it easy.
Okay.
And they just want to
They think they
scale
don't
down. They want to
they think
scale
they
down
don't
the
need you.
size of the
I gotcha.
no, they want to scale down the size of it.
But
I
does
mean,
that have
bad.
consequences?
Of course, that has consequences. It's just there's been buyout offers before. Clinton did one back in the '90s. So it's
Mm,
not unprecedented. Um, it was a year to decide what you wanted to do, not like a few weeks.
yeah.
But I I don't think the severance offer was anything like this one. What the
Yeah.
offer is and what people are actually going to get, who knows? Because Congress is saying they don't have a line item actually appropriated to do this.
Sure.
So it's like say, oh yeah, we're going to pay you for 8 months to just go home, but
Yeah.
Congress hasn't appropriated that. So
Yeah.
they're saying they're going to get that done, but I mean, Congress has to appropriate that money.
Yeah.
So I mean, I didn't take it.
Yeah.
So like I said, I wasn't going to talk about it, but I guess I just did.
We can cut it out.
I like my job and I like my coworkers. So
Hey. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I would do the same thing, you know?
and I didn't you know before COVID when I was in the office every day, I didn't hate it to be there or anything.
No. Exactly. Like I would go in if my like clothes fit me again. I would have to buy some new clothes.
It's just a big it's like I was in the
There
office
you
all the
go. And
time, and then because of
yeah.
COVID, I was purely from home, and I've been purely from home through this renovation and everything. The renovation is wrapping up, and now I'm back in the office, and it's just like purely. It's like not. I didn't have any kind of like hybrid you know environment where I was half time in both. It was just always in the office, always at home,
Yeah.
always in the office again, which is
Yeah.
just it's like just a big change to your life.
Yeah. Been crazy. 5 years since COVID already. So much has changed.
I believe it. I mean, now that I think about it, it does seem like a long time ago. Like a lot of that stuff. Certain stuff doesn't feel like I always say this. Certain stuff feels like it was just yesterday. Some of
Yeah.
meming shit that I was doing like around that time. Like some of the memes. I remember the memes like very clearly.
Yeah.
People spraying Lysol everywhere and all that stuff and me making like stupid videos on Facebook, you know,
Yeah.
just like
Well,
because we
it's
were trying to kill time, yeah, trying to kill time and stuff. And
mm,
but that seems like oh that wasn't that long ago. But then I remember the first night after COVID, like me, Casey, and Justin went into Old City, one of those first nights where they kind of opened things back up, the restaurants and whatever,
Mm.
and people were acting like maniacs. We talk about Philly being like crazy for the Eagles. Like people were
Yeah.
acting like maniacs in Old City that night because people just been kind of cooped up. So it
Yeah.
was kind of like unleashing, it was like an animal that has been caged up for a while.
Yeah.
And
Crazy.
that feels like forever ago.
Mm.
But that was like 2021. The original like COVID meme stuff was obviously 2020. It's, and that seems like it was like, I remember doing that. But that night out with Justin and KC when Old City was like raucous, you know,
Mm.
that seems like it was forever ago. So, I don't know, it's just
Yeah.
perception of stuff.
Yeah, it is crazy. Yeah, it was kind of nice in some ways. Uh other ways it was, obviously terrifying, but um
Um,
yeah.
I found it like elevated my anxiety really, really badly at first, like really badly, because I remember my dad in like May was like, "Well, we're gonna have people over because no one's seen each other for a while. It's like like,
Mm.
drive
Yeah,
on
you're like,
out on the weekend." And I'm like,
mm.
no, Dad, my anxiety is so bad right now. I can't go anywhere.
Yeah, like I don't know if I'm ready for that.
And I also like during that time, I was like quitting drinking, which was like a harsh show. 'Cause that was hard. That's hard to
Yeah.
go from someone who gets bombed like all the time to someone who just doesn't drink at all. Like
And when did you stop?
during all that,
2022?
April 2020.
Oh, in 2020. So it was like
Right
right
at
after. You're
Yeah.
like, all right, I'm gonna be
Well,
inside for a while. Let's do the hardest thing ever.
yeah. Well, the reason I did it is because I just saw what was going on around me and people I was talking to, how so many people were off of work and didn't have anything to do with their time. And would just, they grab a bottle or grab a 30 rack in the morning and that's what they were just doing all day, right?
Sure. Yeah.
And yeah, I drank a lot, but like I never didn't have a job and
Yeah.
I never went to work drunk or anything like that. So like my breaks from the madness on the weekend had like my work schedule and other professional stuff built into it. And then I kind of realized as I'm
Mm.
like, the anxiety level is like rising like at the beginning of COVID, like just a couple incidents where I was like, fuck, like if I don't stop, like I'm gonna straight drink myself to death in this fucking apartment that I'm in.
Mm.
Because like there's nothing going on at work, right? I'm working from
Yeah.
home, but because of COVID, we don't have anything to do really because everything's
Yeah.
shut down. Everything's
Yeah.
shut. I
Made
work
you
for the government.
nervous.
Everything's shut down, and it's like this isn't gonna just gonna be the weekends and stuff like that. This is just gonna be my day every day, and then it's gonna be holy shit,
Totally.
like I'm gonna be
Do you,
totally fucked. So I was just like, it's like all right, I had this one bad weekend, right?
mm.
Um, but enough of this, and then I'll just fucking cold turkey stop, and I did.
Do you think
They,
not being around like your work or like other people or helped at all with like stopping?
no, I don't think so because like I had gotten to the point where like enough people in my life were like didn't want me to drink around them because they knew it was like a serious problem. Like
Mm.
I could not drink like around my family or whatever because they would stop me. And I
Yeah. So
like most of
yeah.
my friends were not accepting of it anymore. There was only a few
Yeah.
that would put up with it. There's only a
So it
few
really
that I
was, yeah. You were just like,
so
this is the perfect storm. Like I can't just be by myself all the time and
yeah,
like
because that's
be
like the one because I wouldn't be like it was actually something that would encourage me to because it was something like I won't be judged. You know what I mean?
sure.
I feel bad about it. I feel terrible what I was doing to myself, but there was no one there trying to get me to stop or anything. So being
Yeah.
alone was like an encouragement, but I also realized like this is like dangerous.
Yeah.
This is dangerous with like work not stopping me or whatever. So it's like I know this is going to be like extremely difficult, but
Mm.
like this has to be like the impetus for me to like make this change.
Mm.
And at least I'm comfortable in my apartment. It's kind
Yeah.
of like it's kind of like a place where I would, you know, I'm kind of a homebody, so I feel less nervous and I feel less anxious at home as compared to being out sometimes. So
Yeah.
it's like if I just wrap myself in this cocoon for a while and just get through like the really shitty part of it, then I
Yeah.
can start building on some things once, all this COVID stuff, and we didn't know how long it was going to last. But once it's kind of like you figured it was going to blow over at some point.
It is a good thing that it made us stay inside and not outside, because that would suck, right? Like imagine if it was like the opposite, where everybody had to stay outside, you couldn't go in your place.
I'm trying to think, maybe I'm trying to think of like maybe if something infected the water, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So everybody's house has like access to the sewage system
Yeah.
and the pipes and whatever.
Or like bed bugs or something.
Yeah, like a bed bug epidemic. So
Do
everybody
bed
had
bugs
this.
exist outside or are they only inside?
I have no idea.
There's no beds outside.
I don't know, but there's bugs.
Uh,
But so yeah, it's like it's
Bed
man.
bugs exist outside. Yes, bed bugs can exist outside, but they prefer indoor environments where they have easy access to human hosts. Well, if we
Which
were
is
outside, they're not well adapted for outdoor survival for long periods. This could be like a good zombie movie
oh,
or something,
I was just
right?
thinking about how 28 years later is coming out over the summer, and I can't wait to
I
see it.
know. You were talking to me about that, and I got the movies and I watched the days and the months, and now I'm ready for the years.
So you watch Days and Weeks, 28 days
I
later and
watched,
28 weeks later.
I did.
What'd you think? They're pretty brutal as far as zombie movies go, huh?
I thought they were pretty good. I'm not usually a zombie guy. I actually liked those
But
movies.
yeah, but they're actually scary because like the zombies
Yeah,
are actually threatening.
yeah. I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
I liked I Am Legend, but it was a little
Yeah,
hokey,
I Am Legend had a bit of that.
a little hokey.
Like where the zombies are fast and they run after you and that whole thing. Right?
Yeah,
I
I
forgot.
don't know.
I've only seen it once. I didn't like it that much.
This seemed more scary. I agree.
Yeah,
It's like
Danny
real
Boyle's a great
zombies.
director. So Danny Boyle
Okay.
did Days Later, 28 Days Later. He's a great director.
Mm,
Excuse me.
yeah. Mm,
And and then I know he didn't direct 28 Weeks Later, but it was a continuation of his vision. But
yeah.
he's doing 28 years later. So I have a lot of, optimism that it's going to be really good. Although it does seem like it's going into that Walking Dead direction a little bit. It's like, okay, so we've had the apocalypse. Now we're like
Yeah.
rebuilding society, and the characters all live in a little town where, you know, everybody has a job, you know,
Yeah.
like you have to farm your food, and there's
Where do
someone
you
who,
go from there?
yeah, and there's someone who does the watchtower, and there's someone, and someone's designated as the teacher, and you try to like run society, post-apocalypse in this little village and have everyone do what they're best suited for, which is fine. It's fine, but it was done to death for 13 seasons or whatever the Walking Dead run was, right?
Mhm.
And everyone had their fill of that. But yeah, there's things that can go. It seems like in the preview for the movie that they're going to show some of the scenes from like the original Outbreak that they showed in 28 Days Later, were like right at the beginning, because it shows like a suburb of like London, right? And zombies are breaking into this woman's house while the kids are watching Teletubbies. And they actually show like the Teletubbies on the TV, and they show the CD tower
Mm.
just to show you, oh, this is like 2002. So we're going backwards. We're going to show you the beginning of all this.
They have to, because I mean the
It's been
timeline
so
was so
long.
it's been so long. Unless you're like
It's
really we're
been
going
so
back and
long. So
watching them.
you need a little bit of
How long are those movies apart from each other? They looked old.
28 days later was 2002. Well, he shot it on a camcorder, so it's supposed to
You know
have
so
that.
many facts about these movies.
Well, I love that movie. It's one of my favorites. 28 Days Later. So I definitely like.
Okay.
It was like a movie I looked up. It's like, why
I
did
love
how
Forrest Gump. I don't know who directed it.
I don't know who directed it either. I just know
I
Tom
don't know the
Hanks.
name of any actor in that movie other than Tom Hanks.
Robin Wright is Jenna.
Robin, right? Okay. Was she in anything else?
God, Forrest Gump's the big thing. She's been in some
That's
other
right.
stuff, but
Yeah.
I can't think of anything right now.
Yeah. You know a lot of facts about zombie movies.
It's one of my favorite genres. I'm a big Resident Evil
You
fan too.
You should go to one of those trivia nights where they
I've
ask
been
all
to
sorts
trivia.
of
Yeah, I've been to trivia nights.
like a zombie
We do
themed.
movie like one thing about being back in the office is one of my coworkers
Yeah,
he'll bring movie trivia in. So at
yeah,
lunch once a week, he'll have his big stack of movie trivia, and we have like trivia lunch. It's fun. Like I said,
yeah.
I got good coworkers.
I used to love
Grateful
getting
for that.
lunch with my coworkers. That was the
I
best
did it
part.
this job and my previous job. I like yeah,
Yeah.
a couple of them were okay. A lot of them were assholes.
Problem is I like to eat so early in the day. I'll eat lunch at like 9:30, 10.
Yeah,
And
you do
and
10 o'clock
it's hard.
Popeyes, right?
It's hard. Yeah, I'm often going to Popeyes. Although I've got a good stock at this point. Um, they've had some good deals in the past week,
Chicken
so I've
tender deal,
been
right? You were telling me about the chicken tender deal, and you're stocked up on chicken tenders.
so I was vacuum sealing extra tenders and
That's awesome.
got a whole shelf in my freezer. Yeah. So yeah, I eat it very early. Luckily, Popeyes opens at like 9:30. So I was also a fan of Taco Bell for a while when I was closer to the Taco Bell, and
Speaking of
they were
zombie movies, I could see them
opening
at
early.
Popeyes like opening up at 9:30, and I can see you just like outside like clawing at the glass. Like, uh, I need my chicken.
Wait, is this pre-zombie or post-zombie?
You're a zombie every day, all day for chicken.
I, dude,
You're a zombie, but you don't want brains, you want chicken.
yeah, I've actually been into instant ramen lately now too.
Oh, no shit. We had ramen for lunch today.
Yeah, do you do like the instant ramen, the packet, like the packets?
Yeah, we
Dude,
did. We got some.
I ordered like pallets off of Amazon of this
Yeah,
ramen. And you know what I put into it?
all kinds of stuff.
Popeye's chicken.
I'm sure you do. We put shrimp in it today. We got shrimp ramen and put shrimp into it. Leftover
Oh,
Superbowl shrimp. So we're coming full circle with this stuff.
put
But
a
yeah,
lot
I
of stuff
remember
in it.
when I was living with our old buddy Eric at the
Yeah,
house in Pennsauken.
yeah,
He kind of got on that whole order bulk off Amazon like well before any of us did. Because I remember
yeah.
he would order like huge boxes of cereal, and
He's a
then
smart guy.
I'd be like, "Why are you getting all this cereal?" And like he calculated, you're paying $4 and change at the store per box, and he was paying like 95 cents or whatever it was per box of cereal just to have a shit ton of it delivered. And as long as you don't open it, it pretty much stays fresh because it's all just
Yeah,
sugar.
my boy.
Yeah.
I'd be putting it in the freezer though. Freezer you can put. I'm actually so I keep the biscuits too from Popeyes, but I've also been and then we can wrap this up, but I just wanted to make this point. You can take and you can save the crumbs from the fried chicken. So I have a little snack bag just full of fried chicken crumbs, just jammed into this shelf.
That doesn't shock me at all.
I could probably open a franchise and keep it running for like a few days, just based on the stuff that I have in my freezer.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
But yeah, we got zombies, chicken, and ramen Super Bowl.
Dude, we
That's a
got a
great
lot.
name. That's a great name for like a podcast episode. Zombie
I like
chicken
that.
ra the zombie chicken ramen Super Bowl
I'm gonna
2025.
I'm gonna steal that. That's perfect.
Redistributing,
Ladies
comrade.
ladies and gentlemen, this has been an episode of the Bob Seat with the Claw. You've seen him before, you'll see him again. Claw, it's been a pleasure
Anytime, Bob. It's been fun
on the
being on
Bob Seat.
the Bob seat.